Hey guys, how's it going? Blades of God here from Hammer Bros Gaming, coming at you today with our Labyrinth Escape Guide on Master Difficulty for Gears 5. You can see with me I've got Beardsley and Pyro. They're going to be running Tank and Anchor and Infiltrator respectively, and I'll be running Nomad. Beardsley's running Anchor with his Bolthawk bleed damage maxed out, and he's going to be pretty much working on headshots on drones and smaller enemies. Pyro's going to be running shotgun damage and shotgun bleed, and he's going to be focusing on some of the bigger enemies that we may face like Pouncers and handling a lot of the small things like Juvies. And normally I'd be running Protector, that's my main class, but I'm running Nomad because we're going to be facing some invincible Wardens, and you can see here in the modifiers we've got Ghost Wardens, Invincible Wardens, and more Wardens. So they're going to be unkillable, invisible, and there's going to be a lot of them. We also have shock rifle drones, so if we get hit from a rifle drone, it chains a shock between us, and then a few of the regular master difficulty modifiers like more damage, Iron Man, and more health. The reason I'm bringing the Nomad into this map is because of his fear ability. It can actually cause the Wardens to turn and flee when you activate it, and if you get into a situation where you're surrounded, well, it can be a lifesaver. It can really buy you some valuable time. So let's get into this map. As you come out of the spawn room, you're going to come straight ahead. There's only one path you can take, and you're going to come to a very open area. It's going to have doors that you can manually close, and the interesting thing about this map, because you're facing Wardens that will pursue you through the entire map, you can see one of the invisible ones right there that Pyro marked. You're going to want to use these doors to kind of lock the Wardens away so they can't follow you. You can see I accidentally closed the door a little too soon while I think it was Beardsley was in there. And I'm showing Beardsley and Pyro that, yep, there goes that Warden all the way around. So we're going to go close the other doors that he could come through so he can't get to us. So once you close that first door, you're going to come around here to the left. You can see here comes another Warden, and you can see the mark on that that Warden that we marked the first time. He's coming around too. And what I'm trying to do is get my teammates in this door so we can lock the Warden behind us. This Warden, we're going to close this door for now because there's an ammo room we're going to hit. So right now we're safe. We closed off both these doors. No enemies here. We're going to come up into this little alcove, and there's an ammo room up here. Do be careful because in this ammo room there is a spawn, and you're going to get a lot of Juvies and Poppers. Nothing worthwhile back there. You don't have to fight through them, so to speak, but you do need to take them out because they will surround you. And this is one of the reasons I love my Protector class, is because I could be bleeding these guys out really fast. Unfortunately, Pyro doesn't have a shotgun right now, so it comes down to a lot of pistol work, a lot of knife work. Beardsley and I actually get downed right here, and Pyro comes in with a save to prevent us from wiping. But in this room, we have a boom shot, a Marxa, and for the Protector, I'm not the Protector. The Nomad, I am running Marxa damage increase. I'm running, I believe it's called Terror, where headshot kills cause fear, and phase, which means executions cause fear, along with executions giving me stim. So, and stim bleed. So that, I don't know if that was, but I've got stim bleed on for sure, and you're going to want that because that makes you much more valuable of an asset in escape. You're going to want to try to execute at least one enemy and then hang back and use your ranged weapons to inflict bleed damage from a distance. The challenging thing is, with those rifle drones being shock drones, they chain together damage to your allies, so you can lose your stim very fast. Anyway, once you've picked up the boom shot and the Marks and gotten all the ammo out of that room, you're going to come back down here to where we had the two doors closed for the Warden. And what we're trying to do now is bait this Warden into the room with the pillar. Pyro was getting a little bit overzealous with trying to sneak by him, and we had a little bit of a hard time here. But basically what you want to do is kite this Warden all the way around the pillar and then run through the door and close it. Beardsley had the right idea. See, he kited him around. The Warden's following him, gives you plenty of time to get through the door and close it. Wardens cannot open doors, so those Wardens are now locked away and cannot get to us. And we're going to advance this way. Once you get past that second Warden, you're going to take a left through this door, and you'll see on the minimap that there's only one path to get through here. So there's no additional pathways for the Wardens to get through. So if there's any enemies behind us, I'm going to close this door and that kind of blocks off anything from getting to us at this point. So now you are completely safe. You don't have to worry about enemies coming up behind you. You just got to worry about the enemies that are ahead of you. You can see that Beardsley was down at my feet there, so I had to... Pyro was down at my feet there, so I revived him. But ideally, you would try to get one execution as the Nomad so you could stay back here and do some bleed damage. Beardsley's doing the best he can with his Boltok to try to inflict bleed. But again, with that, marks of damage increase. You can sit back and pull headshots and do a fairly good job of cleaning up the standard rifle drones. The elite drones take a little bit more damage to put down, but you could still, as long as you take your time, pick your shots, you shouldn't have too much of an issue. You can see the Venom isn't much of a problem on this map. It is still quite a ways behind us, so you don't need to rush. You can take your time, as long as you're not getting pressured by a Warden. You could take your time and really pick off these enemies without needing to get in there and mix it up too much. So, right here I told the guys I'm going to try to get an execution to get some stim. Sure enough, there was one drone left, got my execution, got my stim. So now the next time I'm shooting at an opponent, I will be doing bleed damage. There was a safe room, and I forgot that it was to the right. That's why I went left. So my teammates are following me, and it's like, nope, we got to go the other way. Turn around, pull a shot on a popper there that drops it. But, alright, so Beardsley ended up getting downed, or Pyro ended up getting downed because of that popper exploding. Hit this safe room up. No enemies in this one, but there is ammo and a couple of cog tags for you to pick up if you want to reduce your time and get a better score. And there's some stim here, so if you're playing the Nomad and you don't have stim at this point, grab that so you can help out with some bleed damage. Since I already had stim, I had one of my teammates grab it. And there's a flash grenade in here. Make sure you grab that as well, because it can just... Flash nades are never a bad thing to have in Master Escape. So once you clean out that ammo room and you are ready to advance, you're going to backtrack on yourself and then hang a right and go down the path I was going down originally. There's not much else going on right now. I picked up a little bit of ammo that was left on the ground from the dead enemies. And if you want to feel super safe, you can again close this door once you get through it. I was a little trigger happy and ended up locking one of my teammates on the other side. Whoops, that happens. But now that you close that, if for some reason you missed some enemies, or if you're just trying to speed run this, you can go through that door, close it, and the enemies won't come up behind you. And now you can see that we're at the last fight before the safe room. And you can see with my stim, I'm sitting up here just trying to pull off some quick shots to get some bleed damage going on these enemies. Again, unfortunately, with that shock damage, all it takes is pretty much one bullet and you're going to lose your stim. So, not great, but every little bit of bleed damage, every little bit of damage you can put out there is going to help. So, it wasn't much, but the bleed damage lasted for a little while. There is a path around to the left. You could see that Beardsley went down there. I'm sorry, I keep getting them mixed up. Pyro went down there as the infiltrator class, and he was doing some shotgun work up close, while Beardsley and I stayed back and worked the Boltok and the Marksa for some distance damage. We split their fire, so we wasn't getting concentrated on us. And the big thing is that we stay separated, because again, that shock chain will jump from one person to the next. And it is very, very possible that you could wipe if you take sustained fire and you're all clustered together. So as you can see now, we have cleaned this area up. All the enemies have been dispatched. We are at the safe room. The Venom is nowhere near us. So again, the Venom is not an issue in this map. It is very, very slow, and you can take your time scouting up all the ammo from dropped enemies. Alright, so we're going to skip the safe room just because it's a safe room. There's nothing exciting in there. Just grab whatever ammo you need. Same thing with the flash nades. Take what you need. Make sure everybody has at least some sort of grenade on their person, and try to keep at least one grenade each for the final door and the helipad hold. Beardsley is still working his Boltok for the bleed damage. Pyro decided to grab the buzzkill, and you try to use that to clean up some of these enemies. The tricky part about this area of the map right after the safe room is that, one, even though the Venom's not all that pressing, you are right near the safe room, so it will catch up to you a little faster here. And the big issue is that you end up facing a lot of enemies. You can see on the minimap that there's the left and the right pathways, and both sides have enemies. The left with us had elite drones, and then the right had snipers and elite drones. And I'm pretty sure there was actually a Pouncer on the left as well. So there's a lot of enemies. There's no way to really circle around them and get a better angle. So you sort of have to just hunker down, pick your shots, and try to stay away from that shock damage. Again, you see right there, I got hit, got shocked, and it took out my stim with one hit. So the venom is pushing up on us a little bit. You can see that deadly venom is starting to creep into the map. But at this point, between Beardsley's Boltok and Pyro's shotgun, we've cleaned up a lot of the enemies. And I'm just trying to... I see that Pyro went down. He had closed on the enemies because his shotgun bleed damage at this point, after some updates, only does bleed within 5 meters of the enemy. So he had to get up close and personal. He did a good job cleaning out a lot of these guys. Unfortunately, he missed one and it downed him. So once you clean out all these enemies, we're going to use this area as our next, I guess, capture point for some Wardens. There's two paths here, one that goes to the left and one goes to the right. We're going to go to the right. Beardsley ran up to the left there because there's another door that you can close. But ideally, what you're going to want to do is trap two of the Wardens down here. Pyro swapped out for an M-bar. He dropped his boom shot, so I grabbed the boom shot because, again, it's never a bad idea to have boom shot. And here you go. You can see one Warden coming down. Pyro's got it to chase him, so it's coming down here. Beardsley's coming back down to join us after closing that door. And there should be a second Warden on its way. And we're going to try to trap two of the Wardens down here. I screwed up right here. I meant to get up on that little stage quicker, but because Gears maps so many actions to one button, I ended up just rolling into a corner and then got downed by the Warden. So, you know, that was fun. But, whatever the case, there's the second Warden. They're both down there. Door's closed. They can't get out now because the other door on the other side's closed. If you don't close that other door, they can circle all the way around, and that has happened to us before. And what we're going to do right here is, we had that third Warden come in. Normally, we would have just done a big loop around the room, and you can see that Beardsley is... You can see the silhouette of Beardsley way over on the right-hand side there. Normally, what we would do is just run across and close the next door to trap all of these enemies in this one room. But Pyro needed ammo for a shotgun, so we hit this ammo room, and we're actually going to trap the Warden in here, just like that. Use the shock nade to slow him down, or a flash nade if you have it. And then you have Juvies and Pouncers, or we had Juvies and Pouncers spawn in here. I don't know if it's Juvies and Pouncers every time, but I think for us it was. And instead of fighting them all, we're just going to come up here and close this door. So now we are nice and safe. We took out the two Juvies that made it through the door. I'm going to close this door to the left so nothing spawns in behind us. And now we are on to the last room before the helipad. You've got two doors here. Make sure you remember, or three doors actually, I believe. Make sure that we hold on, or we remember those three doors are there, because in this last room, you're going to have shock drones, you're going to have two Scions, and a Warden. Sometimes the Warden rushes you right away, sometimes he takes his time. This time he did not come out right at the beginning, and ideally you do want him to come out first. That way you're not getting hassled by the Scions and the shock chain from the rifle drones. But sometimes you can't control that, so we're just going to do the best we can. Clean up the enemies. Again, you want to prioritize the Scions. We got a buzzkill, and I think it was two buzzkill Scions, actually. And what you want, I don't know if it's always going to be two buzzkill Scions, but that's what we had on this run. I think I remember seeing an ice Scion here once, but don't hold me to that. So again, Pyro closed up. He used that shotgun bleed and that shotgun damage to take out the Scion after Beardsley had bled him down a little bit. I'm using the boom shot, just trying to clean up a little bit on these drones. See, I got a nice distance headshot right there with the boom shot. I was actually trying to hit two enemies, but I only hit one. And here's Beardsley trying to bleed out that Scion. He ends up getting down because of the shock chain, and what I was trying to do was actually give him my Boltok ammo, because I'd rather have him have my ammo so he can do more bleed damage. So I'm trying to give him the ammo, and you can see I hit the button one too many times. It activated Fear, which is not great because I was holding that for the helipad hold, and there was no enemies around. So, you know, nothing happened there that was useful. So at this point, the Warden finally decides to show up. Beardsley didn't fall back fast enough, so he ended up getting downed. And what you want to do is you actually want to fall back. Don't just go through this first door, because there's not a lot of room in this little angled corridor to trap the Warden. It doesn't give you a lot of time. So what we tried to do is actually fall back through two doors, wait until the Warden starts closing in on that second door, and then sprint for the sprint back for the first door. And this is how it should work, but like I said, if you don't take out the drones, you're going to get hassled by that shock damage. And you can see that Pyro ended up getting downed. He was sitting on the button to close the door, and he ended up getting down from the shock damage from the drones. And we almost ended up wasting a lot of time with the Warden making it back out through these doors. But we get the door closed, the Warden's trapped, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. And now we've just got some drones left to clean up. You can see I'm trying to do quick pop shots and do a little bit of damage. Beardsley's pushed up with his Baltalk. He must not have seen that he had a sniper rifle laser or a M-bar laser right on his forehead, because he just took a headshot and went down. But here we are, Pyro pushed up, Beardsley pushed up. They're trying to do the bleed damage as best they can. I do not have stim right now, so you can see I'm pretty damaged. I got 2 guys down. I thought for sure we were going to wipe at this point. I saw the Venom was closing in on Pyro, so I decided to help him up first. But again, don't rush. Even though the Venom is very close to us right now, it's not like it's moving all that fast. I mean, you don't have to panic just because the deadly Venom is in the same room. It can actually be a good thing. The Venom is going to get so far up, it's actually going to trigger the door hold for us. And it's going to start the enemy spawn before we even get to the door. So it's not a good thing or a bad thing, I guess. It just depends on your play style. If I was running my normal Protector class, I think I would have been a little more happy with this Venom starting the door closed for us, so I could have meleeed some enemies on the way through. But again, with that shock drone damage being active as a modifier, you really can't just run by these rifle drones. You've got to take them out. We've got 2 snipers who are sitting back here just trying to take pot shots at us. And at this point, you could see there I got an execution, and it put that other drone into fear. So he wasn't able to do much. There we go. The door just closed as we were running out. Now, I'm not in a very good situation ammo-wise right now. I have 1 shock nade, which I'm going to throw. I did get my fear back, which was nice, but unfortunately, if you activate fear at the end of the map, it doesn't cause them to retreat back into the hive. It just freezes them for a second. So like I said, it doesn't buy you as much time, but it's still very helpful. We unfortunately were not able to stop these Scions from getting out. This was sort of a sloppy helicopter, or a sloppy helipad scene. We had 2 guys down right there. I was so close to getting down. I thought for sure we were going to wipe again, but I managed to get Pyro up. Pyro took out the Scion with his bleed damage, got Beardsley back on his feet, and that's just about it, guys. I hope this helped you out. I hope you're enjoying these guides, and stay tuned for more to come. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please like and subscribe. You can also check us out on Twitch at Hammer Bros Gaming. I am Blades of God, and until next time, have a great day everyone.